Greetings and salutations, my operators, and welcome back to Fate Grand Order, Lostbelt number 5, Olympus. Last time, we beat Wooddine, and then he got stabbed by not us, and then tree caught fire. So, let's get into it and see the aftermath of that. Section 24, Advent. Come on! Once I've made mincemeat of you and the ground you're gonna land on, this'll all be over. Gah! How? How could I not defend against these pitiful techniques of yours? I see. It's not only Poseidon protecting you, that lighting, that gold. Impudent short-sighted whelp! How dare you hide your true strength? Shut up and just frickin' die. Damn it. Why'd you have to take so long? Now I'm gonna miss their whole Huh? The hell's going on? Is that the foreign god getting in the way again? Why, no. No, it's most certainly not, is not. I see. Well done, Barrowgoot. I think just got... I always knew you were a treacherous wench, but I never dreamed you could be such a snake. Good. Well then, I believe it is time I made my exit. Olympus is all but finished now. And so, my fun and games must come to an end. Well, this unfortunately means the perfected foreign god's advent will have to wait. My true self should be able to resolve matters soon enough, so should he so decide. So in the meantime, I think I shall disappear, that I may focus on preparing a new picture of the hell to unleash. God damn. Sick bastard just cut his own head off. Screw that. Damn it. You better still be alive. Oh, come on, Kirsch. Really? Shouldn't a superhuman god be able to heal up from a little cut like that? Ah, well. At least it made my job easy. All that's left now is to find a body bag and a Kirsch-sized hole in the ground. Ah, that's more like it. Man, it feels so much better without that uptight blonde prick around. You guys think so too, right? Hey, Barrel Draco. Feel better now that I got rid of that thorn in your side for you? Barrel! How could you do that to him? What? You already know who I am? Well, shucks. I think I'm gonna blush. Nice to have another dutiful Kohai around. Can't say I care for the way you're glaring at me, though. Wait, you don't have a problem with me, do you? What, really? Come on, guys. You don't want to do this. You're obviously hanging by a thread. Hell, you still haven't even caught your breath from your fight with old Kirsch there. So if you don't stop glaring at me like that, when you're all weakened and vulnerable, I won't be able to resist killing you all too, no matter how much I love my Kohai. Just kidding. Even I'm not that stupid. That server of yours rocking the black trenches, the kind of guy to save his strength right up to the end, right? I can tell. So, since it's clear we'd end up taking each other out in a fight, how about we just have a nice friendly chat instead? Right, Mash? You know what I'm talking about, don't ya? You know that Barrel Gut's a stand-up guy who's always willing to hash things out, right?
Yes, well, statistically speaking, your advice was... No, even if your advice was statistically helpful, I was never able to understand why you acted the way you did at Caldia.
Is that so? Well, damn, Go. I must have earned your ire or something fierce, huh? Oh, but don't get me wrong, Mash. I'm thrilled to see this new side of you. I'm just gonna step in front of Mash without saying anything. Aha! As I live and breathe, a real knight in shining armor, in the flesh. Now that's a model master for you. I really appreciate you stepping out of your own accord like this, you know? Not only is your bravery real inspiring, you just made it much easier to go for your throat.
Kiristaria! Hey, isn't that your pretentious ass cloak on the floor? What's going on? The hell's going on here? Shit, you're bleeding like crazy. Hang in there, damn it. Don't you dare pass out. I still got a ton of stuff I gotta pay back for. You can't die on me before I get the chance. Didn't you say you were gonna make every last one of those piece of shit gods obsolete? Come on. Just because the Olympian gods are done for doesn't mean you can rest on your laurels. You still gotta do something about that big bad foreign god, remember? Don't you dare go cold on me now.
Well, damn. That was the perfect chance. And now the mood's gone to shit. Hell, I'm almost tearing up myself. Come on, Canis. Take it easy. Kiristaria's dead. No sense dwelling on the past, yeah? You know, it's not like you and I are total strangers. Hell, you're the one who brought me here from Britain. So how about you jump ship and become my servant? A woman like you be right at home in the British Lostbelt. Hell, stick with me and there might even be a domain or two in it for you in the future.
A woman like me? It'd be one thing if the Chaldeans had killed him. Kiristaria himself said he and Baral Draco were on equal ground. But this wound clearly came from an ambush. That sort of thing ain't Baral Draco's style. You did this to him, didn't you, Baral?
So it's gonna be like that, huh? I have no idea who's talking.
That's enough. The battle for control of this Tree of Emptiness is over, and Caldia has won. Surely there's nothing to gain from further infighting, is there, Baral? Canis?
Oh, it's okay, that's the wrong voice. Father Kotomine! Good day, everyone. I believe the last time we met was back on the Russian tundra, wasn't it? In my capacity as another of the foreign god's disciples, permit me to apologize on Limbo's behalf for his rudeness. His very nature makes him incapable of not toying with the minds of others, you see. It was, I assure you, nothing personal. He treats everyone this way.
Who asked you, Rasputin? Besides, I don't recall ever signing up for your side. I'm Kiristaria Wooddime's servant. That's it. And now that he's shown his true colors, that makes me an enemy of the foreign god too.
I see. I'm sorry to hear that. And what of you, Baral? We now know that Kiristaria, the leader of the Cryptors, was a traitor. But we also know you killed him. Can I assume this means you remain on our side?
Hell yeah, you can. Like I always say, if you can't beat them, join them. I don't give two shits about the future of humanity. All I want is to have a good time. I didn't come back to life so I could become the king of Earth or anything. I'll go along with whatever you say. But then again, I can't help but wonder if this foreign god guy's really all that strong. Kirstar saw to it that they couldn't use Magellan here. And that woman back in Britain sucked Seyfried's insides dry. So without a vessel for the foreign god to come down into, well, what happens next? Cause it seems to me like the strongest one on this planet right now has gotta be the king from my Lostbelt.
So Barrel's not siding with the foreign god either.
I see you've done your homework. Precisely the sort of thinking I expect from a purebred hunting dog like yourself. I take it that means the British Lostbelt is now officially opposing us then, Beryl. Since you appear to have sworn loyalty to their king, can I assume you're also speaking for Britain?
Hell yeah, assume away. The old lady outright told me I could do whatever I liked on her behalf. Besides, that wrong Menard we saw just was a special spell her Machi whipped up just for the foreign god. We were always planning on taking Olympus out, no matter what Kirstar got up to.
Understood. The foreign god only saved Kirstar from death, thus giving the foreign god control over his continued existence. And as Kirstar was the one who saved your lives, the foreign god has placed no such restrictions on you. You are therefore free to live out the remainder of your days on this dying planet as you choose. As an enemy of the foreign god, that is.
Koyan Saka! Warp me over to Britain right now! I don't know why, but I'm getting some serious chills down my spine. I gotta get out of here before it's too late.
Well now, I was wondering when I'd get to make my entrance. How anticlimactic. Well, but very well, Lord Beryl. If nothing else, you do have an impressive nose for danger.
Koyan Sakya! You're going to take him away from here?
Why, yes, I am. I offer a great many services. One of them includes taking a single crypter on a single trip to the Lostbelt of their choice. Alright, until next time, Beryl Draco et Chalcadia. We at NFF Services look forward to your future patronage. Assuming you make it out here alive, that is.
So, Koyan Saka has gone over to that side as well. Well, I suppose it was time. She is the same class as our god, after all. If she had stayed, it would only have been a matter of time until they were at each other's throats. Alright, you're up, Miramasa. Go on and swing that katana of yours. This very moment is what the foreign god chose you for.
I can't believe it. Atlas's body is...
I suppose I should assume the internal fires have left the Tree of Emptiness in a permanent state of incompletion. But never mind that now. The real problem is that something is about to manifest inside Atlas's bisected spirit origin.
I can't believe how intense this ominous aura is. I'm detecting a powerful magical reactor core signal inside the Tree of Emptiness. I can't measure its magical energy levels with my current equipment. But, wait. The spirit origin pattern. Fo! As foreseen and categorized by Trismegitus. Whoops. This looks to be the final horn, the final beast crown of the 7 evils of humanity. Beast 7.
Language, intellect, sharing, plane, mission, generating.
Come in. Do you read me? Commencing Advent. Ha. Ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Ah! At long last, it's finally my turn. Thank you for waiting so patiently, my loyal disciples. And well done preparing a vessel for me to use from this empty planet. I am pleased with the work you've done, even if it did take longer than expected. So, this is Earth, is it? I was curious what it was like after hearing it gave my kin so much trouble. But it doesn't look all that impressive. Just look how tiny it is! I could conquer the whole planet in less than a year.
I don't know why we would mention her height. So I'm just go with ...
Master, I'm having a very difficult time following what's going on here, but I think the being floating above us right now is both a beast that manifested inside the Tree of Emptiness and the foreign god themselves. But what I don't understand is...
I know. I'd recognize that face anywhere.
Well, no matter. Disciple, status report. Given what happened with Kiristaria, it seems like things did not go entirely as planned.
I'm afraid Zephyr's flame set Magellan ablaze before it could become your body. While your spirit origin is unaffected, I suspect you may be unable to make full use of your authority as a result.
So it would seem that my body still has yet to fully enclose. Well, that's alright. It'll give me something to look forward to. I'm sure I could find something here that will make up for my deficiencies. In fact, I see a meal before me now that should do the trick nicely. Usually, a single Lostbelt wouldn't be nearly enough to satisfy my cravings. But since I only just acquired this body, it should make for a well-balanced wake-up snack. However, seeing these insects buzzing around my appetizer is putting me right off my appetite. Are those the Chaldean stragglers? Why haven't you killed them? They certainly don't look like they're all that capable of giving my disciples any trouble. For that matter, why don't they fear me? I thought those of this planet were obliged to hold gods in reverence. Yes, I know. It would be all too easy to grind them to dust beneath my heel, but I wish to sate my curiosity for now. Tell me, Barrel Draco, why do you not fear me? Aren't humans like you supposed to bow your heads, beg for enlightenment, and submit to the every whim of great and powerful beings?
Well, I mean... You're Olga Mary.
Huh? What is this Earthling talking about? What is a director? Looks like you've gone mad with terror. Well then, I'll be kind and explain. I am a god who has descended upon this world from the void. I have come to right this planet's wrongs and eradicate its evil once and for all. As the ultimate ruler, I will make Earth into a single nation and personally govern every last one of its people. Yes, I am the sovereign of Earth.
Ooh, Olga Mary!
Did she just claim to be the Earth's president or something? Now I really don't understand. First she declares she isn't Olga Mary, and then she claims she is.
She's right. What in the world is going on?
That's more like it. It sounds like you finally understand my godhood. I can sense brainwaves of fear and confusion. Now, the time has come for me to wipe this planet clean of everything that once existed here. The human race, the Lostbelts, you lot, my disciples using silly heroic spirits for their vessels. Now that I have a physical body, I have no more need for any of you. Now get out of my sight, beg for mercy, and repent for your misdeeds, for even my infinite patience has finally reached its limit.
Gravitational field is sucking up everything that isn't nailed down. Damn it! It's even bigger than a tree of emptiness. If it keeps going like this, there really won't be anything left.
Indeed, including us. Is this what you really want, Rasputin? Because it seems this god of yours has no qualms about erasing even her own disciples. If this is what my god wants, then so be it. I only wish I could have been more used to her.
If we use that black light on her, we could... Oh, but both the gun and ammunition are... Yes, I'm sorry. We can't use the black barrel anymore. Besides, even if we could, I don't know if it would be enough to defeat the foreign god.
At this rate, it's going to suck up not just all of Olympus, but this entire Lostbelt. So, I'm finally getting to see a beast in person. I don't need to use my noble phantasm to tell that humanity simply has no hope of defeating her. The sheer magnitude of her spirit origin alone vastly eclipses anything humanity could throw at her. There are simply no conditions that will allow for our victory. Mesopotamia, Solomon's Temple of Time. Chaldea was only able to prevail in those situations because we were an unknown factor. Indeed, our very existence was such an exception to the rule that we had an almost excessive advantage in the environments where Beasts 1 and 2 appeared. Therefore, no matter how outmatched we may have been, it was always possible for us to alter our fate. But this beast is different. She had Chaldea in her sights since well before we were even aware of her existence. We have therefore lost the one advantage we had in those other fights. Unfortunately, even if the Stormborder were to arrive now, that beast would simply wipe them all out. It's elementary, my dear Leonardo. There's simply nothing we can do. I wish I didn't have to say this, especially after you entrusted me to see this mission through, but... I'm sorry, Mr. Baradraco. I'm afraid there's no possible way for us to turn things around.
So you're not even going to try to fight back, Earthlings? Wait, how silly of me. Of course you can't fight back. I don't know why I even thought you could. I suppose it only makes sense. There is no version of humanity in this universe that is capable of surpassing me. All that aside, you Earthlings truly are pathetic, aren't you? You're so tiny, so powerless. It's like looking through a microscope at bacteria in a petri dish. Huh?
Did she break herself? Why does it do that? Why is that even necessary? Why does it pan up? I'm sorry, Mr. Bear Draco. I'm afraid there is no possible way for us to turn things around.
Who is talking?
Okay, 50-50 shot's gonna be a man or woman, so...
Come now, it's not like you to be so rash. Or are your powers of deduction simply nullified when you attempt to apply them to an alien being?
Oh, god damn it! Screw up again! Curse? Well now, that almost makes it sound like we're friends. I didn't see that coming, but I can't say I dislike it. Curious Tar or Wooddime, I didn't realize you were still alive. We mages have magical crests. We don't go down quite so easily. Holmes, you just said there was no possible way for you to turn things around. But that all depends on how you look at it. For example, my victory would be my plan to slay the gods succeeding, and my loss would be it failing. Now that Atlas's tree has been razed to the ground, and the foreign god has descended upon this world, my plan has ended in abject failure. It represents a complete and total loss for me. There is no hope for me turning things around now. But the same is not true for you. For you, loss would be dying, and victory would be living. So even if the foreign god has descended upon this world, and even if all you can do right now is run away, merely surviving is enough to ensure your victory. And since you haven't truly lost, you still have a chance to turn things around. I understand this is all a bit much coming from me, since I'm the one who invited the foreign god here in the first place. But, oh well. Now then, I think it's time I played my last card. Rest assured, I won't let the foreign god get away with this. Even if it is ultimately fated to vanish once its tree of emptiness is gone, I will protect Olympus right to the end. After all, I promised Zeus I would. I'll make sure the foreign god goes away, though I can only do so temporarily. Now go. Get out of here. I'm afraid you only get in my way.
Are you sure? I mean, you're obviously badly hurt.
Don't worry. It's not as bad as it looks. I still got plenty of fight left in me. It's a shame you and I weren't able to finish our duel, though. We'll just have to take a rain check on that. At any rate, you've got much more work ahead of you than I do. I'm sorry about this, Barrow Draco. I wish I didn't have to ask you to take on such an enormous responsibility again. It might not be easy, but I'll give it everything I've got. Mr. Holmes. Very well. You have my word that I'll do everything in my power to give Chaldea a chance to turn things around.
Good. I'm relieved to hear that. Alright then. This is goodbye. But before you go, Mash, let me give you one word of advice. I won't deny that, as a cryptor, I considered you and Baron Draco my most dangerous enemies, and tried to eliminate you accordingly. I did so because, at the time, I firmly believed that was what was right. But of course, humans are fundamentally incapable of making the right choice. So the least we can do is to keep shamelessly moving towards those we have chosen, right or wrong. Oh wow, that really messed me up. I believe that's what it means to be human. We are nothing if not great at rationalizing our actions. Still, trust me when I tell you that there is no need to fight to assuage a guilty conscience or to atone for past misdeeds. Don't forget, the reason you left Chaldea to go on a journey was to get as much out of it as possible. I'm afraid this palace won't last much longer. We need to evacuate to the Great Shrine. Come now, quickly.
Right. Kirstaria. Thank you for everything you did for me at Chaldea. I wish we could have all talked a lot more.
Are they gone, Canis?
Were you stupid? Can't you see for your... Yeah, they're gone. They left your sorry ass behind. They didn't even look back. So you don't gotta worry about them. Mess this bitch up. Hell, I'll even let you lean on me.
Thank you. That would be a big help. What about you, Father? Aren't you going to stop me? Not at all. Not unless the foreign god gives the order to eliminate you two. I'm only here to serve as a witness. Truth be told, it should be quite educational. No matter how powerful one may be, this planet still follows its own rules. This will be an excellent way for the foreign god to learn that lesson. In that case, don't mind if I do. Stars, cosmos, gods, animus, antrum, unbirth, animus, animosphere. There are yet the lights of the stars in the void. Illuminate the earth, stay aloft the sky, and illustrate the coordinates of the heavens. May you be a guide for voyagers one more time, O light of Chaldea.
Wait, so did that all happen while B7 was monologuing?
Section 25. Something one is not born with.
Yo, bruh. How's it going?
What I'm about to tell you took place in the spring when I was 15 years old. Back then, I thought the future was bright and full of hope. I was born into an environment far better than most could hope for, with talents far greater than most could dream of. I knew I was destined for great things, and that my purpose was to see them done. I'm going to create something beautiful. I'm going to create something wonderful. It was that ideal, that passion, that made me apply myself to my studies day in and day out. And as a result, I ended up in this filthy dump. I found myself in a place that would never give rise to ideals or principles of any sort. The pain in my chest made me gasp. I couldn't move my limbs at all. but fortunately, I was still able to treat the wound on my chest. Since I had been chosen to take over the family in lieu of my father, I possessed a magical crest that had been reinforced over 11 generations. Yeah. It was designed to heal its bearer in the event they suffered an injury, even if they could not do so themselves. Lancer Ultra really got the short end of the stick in like everything she's in. It's really sad. But now that the crest was no longer functioning, its mana was stagnant, like antidotes from the curse departments. I knew I must have been poisoned with anti-mage toxin, one designed to attack its target's nerves and blood. Enough time had passed for the toxins to work through my body. Both my crest and circuits were completely dead. I could no longer counteract the toxin myself. I would require assistance. The situation couldn't have been worse. I was trapped in enemy territory, and what strength I had was fading fast. The only hope I had of surviving was if my grandfather noticed something amiss and sent someone to rescue me. The problem was, I had no way of knowing if I would last that long.
Awake, awake, awake.
Especially with more of my father's assassins looking for me. It felt as though the basement room, already pungent smell, had suddenly gotten even worse. The boy was wearing a coat that someone else had clearly thrown away, and his hair hadn't been washed in years. He must have carried me here to where he lived when he found me crawling through that alley after the attempt on my life. I could only guess he thought he could make money off of me based on my clothes and appearance.
Still alive, alive.
Hearing the boy digging through a can full of garbage, I was unable to hide my disgust. I was deeply ashamed by the fact that such a pitiful creature had saved my life.
Treasure, treasure. Here, eat.
The boy pressed a piece of completely stale, moldy bread up to my mouth and forced me to eat it, wiping the crumbs off my face with his filthy sleeves. Whatever his intent, his efforts were far from helpful. My wound had closed, but my digestive system was only barely working. Rather than helping me recover my strength, eating barely edible food like this would only upset my stomach and make my condition worse.
It's good. Eat, eat.
But I lacked both the strength to resist and the energy to refuse, so I reluctantly opened my mouth and choked down the rock-hard bread. Once I managed to finish the food he forced upon me, the boy stepped away from my bed with a satisfied smile. He then moved to a corner of the room where he sat down cross-legged and continued his unsettling laugh. Though I was racked with both chest pain and shame about the predicament I found myself in, I realized there was nothing I could do, so I simply lay back and closed my eyes. This would all be over in a few hours anyway. My assailant was almost surely a mage, and so it would be trivial for them to track me down. It was only a matter of time until they discovered this place and came to finish me off while I was still incapacitated. Any help that might be on its way would never get here in time. Not even a god could rescue me from this situation. But my assailant never showed, even after several days had passed. I think I must have spent about 10 days on that hard wooden bed without ever getting up. My body was still paralyzed, but by that point, I must have gotten accustomed to my environment. Slowly but surely, I took stock of my current situation.
Here, eat this too.
No thanks. Could I have some water instead? The fact that this shed was located under a bridge was the only silver lining. Thanks to that, we had access to potable water, even if it wasn't entirely clean. That's better. Say, how long have you been living here?
Never mind. Eat.
My best guess is, the boy had been living here since he had lost his guardian several years ago. The shed, his home, must have belonged to his guardian. Even now, I do not know if his parents abandoned him, or whether he was an orphan from birth. He had very little in the way of language skills. This was hardly surprising, given that he could not have had a single real conversation with an adult in all his life. What's your name? Surely you must know that much. I was shocked. I couldn't believe there was a child in this day and age, in a modern city no less, who didn't even know what names were. No, more than that, I wondered how he had managed to stay alive on his own all this time.
Scary. Everyone's scary. Hide, safe here. Always safe.
As the boy told me this, he stroked a pendant he wore around his neck. Well, I'll be. Even though I couldn't use magecraft at this time, I could still tell that the boy was holding a mystic code of concealment. What's more, it was an antique of incredible value. A talisman that belonged to a sect of witches who have been living in England's deepest forest since even before the clock tower was founded. Now I see. That explains it. No wonder my assailants hadn't been able to find me. The room I'd been staying in was rendered almost completely invisible. You're right. That really is a treasure. I couldn't bring myself to ask the boy if his parents had left him the talisman or if he had discovered it for himself somewhere. But at least now I understood his situation. It was the pendant that had enabled him to carry me here from the alley without being seen. It must also have been what enabled him to safely borrow food from nearby stores. I couldn't make up my mind whether his situation was encouraging or depressing. It was thanks to that pendant that the boy had been able to survive on his own all this time. But it was also thanks to that pendant that he'd never been needed to be involved with anyone else. In a very real sense, he had slipped through the cracks of society. So you're, unsure of what to say to him, I ended up saying nothing.
It's okay. It's pretty. Treasure, my treasure.
The boy gave me a big smile while gently tucking the pendant away, never grasping my true intentions. Even thinking back on it now, it still makes my chest ache. Several more days passed, and I made a number of new discoveries.
Always saw you on bridge. Always, I saw.
That finally jogged my memory. This boy was the vagrant I had seen when crossing the bridge.
Always saw you. Always.
I'll never understand what I must have seemed like to him. No, I'll go further. I should never presume to think I could understand. All I can say is that, as far as he was concerned, I was someone he had seen crossing the bridge, and that was enough for him to help me. The boy may have been ignorant, but he wasn't stupid. In his own way, he understood the current situation too. For starters, he never once left the room. Some part of him understood that if he went outside, even with the pendant, there was a chance the people who attacked me would discover us. So for almost 2 weeks, He fed me using food he already had on hand.
Food. Food. Food.
What's wrong? Is there a problem?
No, no. No problem. Safe here. Safe.
I see. Well, that's alright then. Even having grown accustomed to this environment, I was beyond exhausted. I still couldn't move my limbs, and my strength was no closer to returning. It was no surprise. The food the boy was giving me had no nutritional value whatsoever. And while his pendant may have kept us safe from my assailants, it also kept us hidden from my allies. I sighed loudly in despair and closed my eyes. As I slept, I dreamed of my body rotting away like a decaying tree until I finally died.
Wake up! Wake up!
It was the first time the boy had ever woken me up of his own accord.
Food! Food! Eat! Eat up! Have lots! Lots!
Is that? My voice all but broke in shameless excitement. In his hands, the boy was carrying a basket filled to the brim with bread. And not stale, moldy, leftover bread like he'd been giving me so far. This was bread that had clearly been freshly baked that morning. This is amazing. Although, it's all just bread, huh? Don't misunderstand. I do appreciate this, but if you were going out anyways, it would have been nice if you had gotten some other things too.
Here, food! Eat! Eat!
I didn't realize until later why the boy had only stale bread on hand. It was because, for the entirety of his life, he had never known any other sort of meal. I didn't understand that back then, since mine had been a life of luxury. Unfortunately, there was something else I failed to notice too. Something much, much more important. Very well. Don't mind if I do. Yes. This is much easier to eat. It's great. The boy suddenly fell to the bed as if he tripped on a rock, his arms clinging to the top near my pillow. He looked just like a child dozing off at their desk. Are you okay? The boy had always looked so malnourished that I hadn't even noticed how sunken his cheeks were now, or the fresh bruises on his body. He had been living alone all this time. Of course he wouldn't have enough food on hand to feed 2 people over 2 weeks. The only reason he had any at all was because nobody had ever stopped him from taking it, thanks to the pendant. The food he had on hand was only enough for one person, only enough for him to survive on his own. And ever since he'd taken me in, he'd not so much as set foot outside. He knew that if he left with the pendant, this room would no longer be safe. So he left it by my bed, to keep me safe. In an instant, it was clear as day what he had done to bring me more food. He must have been accosted and beaten over and over. And since he had barely eaten a thing ever since he took me in, the malnourished child simply could not endure such punishment.
Treasure. Safe. Safe.
No, he couldn't have. No one would ever do something so absurd, so patently foolish. He may have been ignorant, but he was smart. He would never willingly choose to do this. Still, on the bed, the boy looked at my face as I lay there, as though he was gazing at the stars.
Pretty. Pretty. Pretty.
No, 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 no. Hang in there, please. You have to.
So pretty.
At the time, I wasn't overcome with grief, or shock, or anger. I was just done with my own stupidity. I was completely and utterly fed up with how foolish I had been, only to look at the future, without seeing or relating to those I had previously treated as though they didn't exist. Huh. Create something beautiful? Born to be a king? A chosen genius? What a joke. No. Jokes are at least funny. I had no idea what I had been talking about. I bragged endlessly about creating beautiful things, blindly trusting that simply calling them beautiful was enough. I had never once stopped to think about what it was that I had considered beautiful. The boy's value hadn't changed. He had wasted his life on something so foolish, so stupid as saving me. I was from the upper crust, and he was from the bottom of the barrel. That much was clear from what we were each bound to contribute to the world in the years to come. But still, could I do what he did? Could I risk my life solely to keep a perfect stranger from starving? Could I risk my life without receiving anything in return, all for something I felt was beautiful? Why, of course. I can do that. I roused my body from its long, long slumber, very literally burning my soul for energy. I could feel my magical circuits, a gift I had had all my life up to that point, physically crumble away. Then, after paying that steep price, too little too late by then, I ate every roll the boy had brought me. That's right. If he could do it, then I had to as well. Now that he had shown me what was possible, it was incumbent upon me to pay him back. For what he had lacked in property, he more than made up for it in benevolence. I need to set my sights higher. I need to be stronger than ever. I shamelessly shoved the food into my mouth, silently willing my cells back to life. I had no time for regret of self-pity. No, I had a job to do, and I was determined to see it done. This was an entirely new motivation. I certainly wasn't born with these convictions. If my life had continued as planned, this new ideal would never had even occurred to me. But now, I vowed to dedicate my life to it. To take all the many gifts I was given, gifts that boy couldn't even dream of, and use them to demonstrate the value of human life for as long as my own lasts. After taking the full force of Kiristara's Wooddame's serious light, the foreign god disappeared from this sector of space. Whether she was forced to retreat due to injury, or simply did so reflexively in response to the unexpected strike, is still unclear. Regardless, her exit meant that Olympus would be spared immediate destruction, and left only the master and his servant behind in the palace. So much for that. In retrospect, I may have set my sights a bit too high.
What the hell are you smiling about, you idiot? You look like a kid who just got caught with his hand in the candy jar.
The servant knelt down beside their master, despite the insults that continued coming. Painfully aware of how he would never walk again, now that the bottom half of his body had been obliterated. The master rested what remained of himself on the floor, as it crumbled beneath them, and turned to look up at the sky.
Damn, that serious light was some serious shit. Ophelia's didn't do anything even close to that.
Well, this is how they were originally supposed to be used. Director Marisberry told me that in confidence. He said that if things ever look truly bleak, I should use mine to save the world. No pressure, right? The master coughed dryly and brittlely as he spoke. His cough sounded like the rattling of the dead tree branches. There was no more sign of the melodic spring-like lilt that had previously been a fixture of his voice.
You don't say. And here I thought all of Caldia's directors were weak and pathetic. Sounds like this Marisberry punk was a hell of a guy. Never would have guessed it.
Yes, he was. I always did respect him, but he turned out to be far more capable than me. He may have been an avid scientist who only cared about his research, but he was also just as dangerous as you expect as one of the clock tower's 12 lords to be. The master laughed, acknowledging his defeat. There was no trace of regret in his voice. I must admit, I never would have guessed that you would cooperate so willingly with Caldia. I was so shocked. I spilled my tea when I heard you join their side, just like that. I thought that would have taken considerably longer. Part of me was even a bit jealous. For a moment, I wondered if it meant you'd join anyone who defeated you.
Hey, it wasn't just like that, and they never defeated me. That was all 'cause Poseidon messed up.
Then what convinced you?
I guess it was Caldia's leader asking me about you. Said he wanted to know what Kurishitara Wooddime was like now. Not as a mage, but as a person. I think that was a big reason I helped them out this long.
Well, that doesn't sound very worth your while. You've been helping them all this time without anything in return.
Who said I didn't get anything out of it? In exchange, I had him tell me a shit ton of stories about you from your clock tower days. Ha! Some born champion you turned out to be. Turns out you were nothing but an overly cautious, stubborn as hell coward. Guess both the Dioscuri and Ophelia were completely wrong about you all along.
The servant laughed joyously. It wasn't laughter meant to mock the ones who had misunderstood the master. It was meant to commend him for keeping up such a perfect front for so long. The master looked up at his servant when he heard the laughter, squinting as if they were too bright to look upon. His eyesight had clouded over, and his breathing was already sharp and shallow.
Hey, what about you? You got anything you still want to say? Or something you still want to do? Go on, let me hear it. I'll at least do that much for you.
Something I still want to do, huh? And so, one small piece at a time, the master told his servant about his what-ifs. He explained how each cryptor was required to have an accomplishment worthy of overturning their death in order to bring them back to life. So the foreign god created environments, customized, subjective worlds. Worlds that would let the dead cryptors achieve such a thing. The master was then shifted to these worlds that might have been, and yet were never meant to be. And from there, he and his fellow cryptors undertook a journey to restore humanity.
Damn, seriously? So what, you saved the world with them?
Only as part of a simulation. They were nothing compared to the real singularities. Karak and I came to trust each other. Ophelia and I shared a laugh with each other. Akuta and I helped each other. Bear and I disagreed with each other. Pepe must have saved me dozens of times. Aro may be frivolous, but he has a strong sense of integrity. I really enjoy getting to understand them better, getting to know their lives. But all the time the master spent with his teammates was no more than a dream, an illusion that was broken the moment his accomplishment was complete. Now, the only one in this world who remembered their trying but important journeys was the master himself.
And you still treated him like that? What? Is your heart made of stone or something?
What else could I do? If I told them, they wouldn't know what to make of it. So I just kept it all to myself, like any other dream. More precisely, he locked the experiences away so he would never look at them again. To make sure that, regardless of what happened, they would never fade away. A journey to restore humanity, huh? That may not be the best way to put it. But, if it were at all possible, I really wanted to save the world with everyone in Team A together. The Master truly loved his teammates, not as their leader, but as their friend. They're the same, the servant thought barely. This Master and Caldia's Master were in the exact same position. As his breathing slows, one last thought flits across the Master's mind, like a shooting star in the night sky.
The hell were you thinking, you idiot? You didn't have to try so hard all by yourself.
I'm glad to hear you say that, Canis. But you're wrong. I was never all by myself. All humans are trying to do their best.
Like hell they are. Don't you try and pull that shit with me, Curious
There was no answer. His soul was already gone. The servant turns towards the sky, as though watching a bird fly away, never to return. Mistakes flood the servant's mind. Unquenchable hatred pounds the servant's heart. The servant wasn't about to reject the past or previous actions. The pride this heroic spirit held refused to sully the very nature of a hero. After all, the servant had been the one who laughed at the world of humans, the one who mocked and wreaked havoc upon it. That aspect would never change. The servant was well aware they were a villain who hated humans, despised gods, and shunned what was right and embraced what was wrong. But even so, in spite of all that...
Damn it. I'm the idiot.
Even if everything about him was evil, he remembered what he was meant to protect, even as he regretted failing to do so. He took up her spear of lightning, and a golden bird took flight. Her next action would not be for her own glory, but to show that he was indeed the right heroic spirit for his master. Section 26. One Day at the Beyond.
That looked just like Ophelia's.
There you are! It's about time we finally got a decent connection. Right then, this is Gordov Moose, commander and pilot of the Stormborder. Do you read me, Barrel Draco? Do you read me, yes? You do read me, yes? I'm just going to assume you can and tell you all what I have to say. We've just finished making emergency repairs to the border and are on our way to rendezvous with you at top speed. We're all caught up on your situation thanks to our video feed. We know that the Tree of Emptiness was burned down from the inside, and that mysterious light came down from the sky and that the foreign god appeared from inside Atlas and claimed to be Olga Maria Amusphere. I'm still trying to make sense of it all, but never mind that for now. Which building are you all in right now? The Great Shrine? The Kronos Crown? The Kronos Crown is starting to fall apart quickly, so if you're there, hurry up and get to the Great Shrine immediately. We should be able to fly in and extract you from there. What's that? I'm asking the impossible? Never mind that. Just get it done.
Not to worry, Director Gordoff. We've already managed to escape the Great Shrine. Once we made our way through the Makia corridor and reached the Hanging Gardens, we intend to try and make our way down to the city.
You can't. The Great Shrine's crumbling from the bottom up. You'll never make it down to the city. Quick! Does anyone know where the most stable point of the shrine is? If it's stability you seek, I suggest you make your way to the altar. It's in the very middle of the shrine and was a holy zone used to receive Lord Zeus's revelations right to the very end. It will not be quick to fall apart.
It should take us about 20 minutes to make it to the Olympian airspace, so try to evacuate to the altar by then.
Understood. Then we better be on our way before the Makia corridor starts to collapse as well.
Foo!
I see for a little breakfast is safe too. At any rate, hang in there until we can come rescue you in the border. Administrative Advisor, Mash, Bail Draco, Macarios, Adelaide, Queen Europa. You had all better hang in there until Captain arrives. Which you will, guaranteed.
The sounds of destruction echoed throughout Holy Vessel Ring Kronos Crown, Great Orbital Shrine, Olympia Dordana. The cacophony of destruction reverberates through every district in Olympus. Both the crown and the shrine, once thought immutable and eternal, were falling apart before everyone's eyes. Even the great crystal mountains had begun to fracture. Rubble rained down upon the city, people huddled on the ground, not even daring to look up at the sky. The heavens had begun to collapse. Olympus itself groaned horribly, straining at the seams. The death cries of an entire city echoes across its districts. People huddled together in branch shrines, believing the destruction would stop once the gods heard their prayers. But to no avail. The rubble continued to fall, crushing some of the branch shrines and the districts surrounding them. Most people prayed fervently for this disaster to come to a swift end. They prayed and hoped, and believed that the gods would protect them. They believed that their friends and family who had suffered painful deaths would soon come back to life. But, in time, some people waiting for the loved one's return began to realize the truth. No one would be revived. No one was protecting them. The Kronos Crown's collapse would continue unabated. There would be no revelations from the great orbital shrine. And the gods would remain silent. For now, at long last, there were none left in Olympus. As time passed, more people realized that the events they were experiencing portended their Lostbelt's destruction. They fell silent one after another, despair and resignation shutting their mouths tight. It was the first pall of silence, devoid of even a single prayer, that had fallen over Olympus in 10,000 years.
Let's see, we still have 10 minutes to go?
The floor is fracturing! Everything's falling down to the city below! We can't use this route anymore. Either. Come on. Let's head back to that intersection and look out! Foe! Foe! Foe!
Don't just watch your step. Keep an eye on what's above you, too. You guys are flesh and blood humans, so even a little falling debris could end up killing you.
Right. I'll be fine, but Senpai is... That goes for you too, MASH. With the Orthonax output so low right now, you're not much more durable than an ordinary human, so please be careful. Right, I will.
The situation seems dire. While we do have some flowing mystic codes prepared, we simply no longer have enough magical energy to make use of them. We could never make them last long enough for the Stormboard to reach us, and there's no guarantee that we wouldn't end up hurling to our death.
I'm afraid I don't have much magical energy remaining either, but there may still be something I can do. Adelaide, Macarios, I'm going to use the last of my magical energy to provide the children of Chaldea with a defensive boundless field and a floating spell. While I would be very grateful if you would help me, whether you do so or not is entirely up to you. Foe. Europa? Of course we will, Lady Europa.
What Adelaide said.
Wait, a bounded field and floating spell would be a huge help, but why stop at us? Can't we all? Operation God's Destroyer is complete now. Even the Tree of Emptiness is finally gone from its Lostbelt. This is our new future, the one we've been dreaming of for a long time.
Right. Today is finally different from yesterday. I'm sure our cells are growing again for the first time in forever. We can finally pick up from where we left off 10,000 years ago. That's all we need. Besides, we're not as weak as you guys, so we can get down from the shrine on our own.
What Macario said. Even if this Lostbelt does soon return to its original form, our time is only just beginning. Take care, everyone. Take care, Mash and Barrel Draco. And thank you for everything. This time we spent together may have gone by in a blink of an eye, but I enjoyed every second of it.
We enjoyed it too.
That's exactly why.
Come on, don't look at us like that. We all accomplished what we set out to do, right? I'll admit, there was a number of times when I thought it might be hopeless. I mean, I could tell from the first time I saw you guys that you weren't bad people. But I thought we might be screwed when it came to this operation.
But you really came through. You gave us the tomorrow we were hoping for. I can feel it right now, at this very moment. We're in a different day now than we were yesterday. We're finally growing again. This Lostbelt may end up disappearing, but even so, I still feel as though anything could happen today. This is what I wanted, what I've long since hoped to feel.
So thanks. I know most Olympians would probably consider you guys and us to be the most evil people ever, but...
Yes, most Olympians may very well think that.
But we don't. Not one bit. And isn't that enough? We'll never forget you guys, even if this world was never meant to exist. So as long as you guys remember us proudly, that's plenty meaningful right there. We'd much rather you remember us like that than keep on living aimlessly forever.
Yes, you're right. Thank you both so much for helping us get this far. Foe!
Thanks, Macarios. Adelaide.
I'd like to thank you all as well. Thank you for watching over Lord Zeus's loving heart and over Olympus's pride. May you all live on, children of Chaldea. Oh, beloved Zeus in heaven, Send your winds from far reaches of humanity to aid these travelers. And may your protection keep them safe from all manner of disaster that may befall them. It worked! Now we have a defensive spell, Bounded Field, and a flight spell.
Bye, Mash. Bye, Holmes. Bye, Foe. Bye, Barrow Draco. You proper human history humans might be weak, but you are still a great master anyway. You proved that beyond a doubt when you faced off with the other master Zeus himself. And called a friend... Called the other master, Zeus himself, called a friend, and won. I feel like there should be a comma there. You twins were both amazing too.
Oh, come on. You're lumping us both together like that? You could at least try to compliment us more individually. Haha.
Fly away, Caldia. Fly away. And make sure you land somewhere far from here.
Give our best to everyone on the border, and to all the other people in the world once you save them.
Man, you're amazing, Queen Europa. They're already so high up, I can't even see them anymore. Do you think they'll be okay? I hope they don't get hit by any debris or anything.
Not to worry. The gods will surely protect them. Yes, I have no doubt that all the gods who fell here, and the gods from proper human history, will keep them safe. Indeed, that would be lovely. Hey, Macarios?
What is it, sister?
Remember how you said we can get down from the shrine on our own? You weren't very convincing.
Ah, man. I can't believe even you could tell I was lying.
I'm so sorry, you two.
There's nothing to apologize for, Your Majesty. We wanted them to take to the sky, and they did. That's all we need. Proper human history, huh? They never did tell us much about it. I wonder what it's like.
It must be a wonderful world if it managed to produce people like them.
Yeah, definitely. Then we really did do the right thing. This has gotta be what's best for Olympus.
Macarios.
I'm not regretting this. I've been dreaming of this day since forever. This is exactly what we wanted. Now, everyone's gotta go. God, I hope I don't get crushed under a rock right now.
Don't do this, Macarios.
I'm sorry, sister, but I've gotta say this. You know what?
What?
Don't get me wrong. I really do think this was for the best. I'm not just saying that. I really mean it. That's why I've been able to keep fighting for so long. But, all that said, I know we've killed all the gods and betrayed all the other Olympians, but if there was a chance, even a tiny 1 in a billion possibility of just having one wish granted.
Macarios.
I don't even know who could possibly grant it now that all the gods are gone, but there's a tiny, tiny part of me that feels like if somehow I could have one wish granted, then just once, I wish I could have seen beyond tomorrow. And especially, I wish I could have seen what you were like when we were all grown up.
Oh, silly. You didn't have to tell me that. I always felt the same way.
Okay. The last fight. No more tears.
I can see everyone's spirit origins. It looks like they're floating, but I'll go ahead and guide them to the deck. Maneuver. Switch the board over to thruster mode. Maintain airborne altitude until Barrow Draco's team is safely inside the ship. Roger that. No problemo. Okay, let's see. Where were the thrusters controls again?
Grr. I thought I told them to wait at the altar. Why did they have to go to the extra risk of using flying magecraft? Well, nothing to be done for it now. Open the deck hatch. As soon as we've collected the field team, we're getting out of this airspace faster than you can say skedaddle.
Hi, yes, sorry, I'm afraid that I have an emergency report to make before we get to that. A powerful spirit origin signal is headed towards us from the Donna Palace. It will reach the ship in 10, 9, 8...
So we're still not out of the woods? What in the world do we have to deal with now?
We actually managed to make it back. I almost can't believe it. Right. Though it looks like Europa's bounded field is gone now.
Indeed. It was an absolutely perfect spell while it lasted. No question as to why she was the queen of gods. If not for her delicate magecraft, I rather doubt we could have flown this far in safety.
What are you just standing around for? Get in the hatch already. There's an unidentified spirit origin headed your way. Right now. They'll be there in 3, 2, 1, ah.
Hey there! So you punks really did make it out there alive. Good. Wouldn't be any fun otherwise. But weaseling out of tight spots is one of the things you lot do best, right? Knew flying here was the right choice. So where are the twins in Europa? Ah, so they're dead. Well, hey, that figures. No point in saving their lives now, right? So you went around pulling all the shit you wanted and decided to scram before it got real, huh? I like that. Hell of a lot less cleanup that way. Only problem is, you assholes got no business being the only ones to make it out of this scot-free. Don't you think, Claudia? Canis.
Canis? As in Canis, the divine spirit? So she managed to survive too? Well, that's just grand. Go ahead and invite her to celebrate this victory with... Hold on. Are you sure that's really Canis? That spirit origin pattern doesn't match the one in our records at all. Well, Canis did have some divinity mixed in previously. Now there's the divine aura emanating out of the spirit origins every pore. It's almost like a purely divine spirit.
That's precisely it, Gordoff. I don't know how this happened, but Canis as she appears now is clearly a god in her own right. In fact, at this moment, it would be no exaggeration for her to call her a direct proxy of the sea god himself. Keep the hatch closed for now, Gordoff. There's about to be a battle up here.
Huh? But why? Our battle here is over.
Well, rude.
Shut up. You should have hung up on mustache a while ago, detective. Perceptive as always, though. I'll give you that. But we don't need a peanut gallery getting in our way during our fight to the death. Canis, there's no reason for us to fight anymore. You've already lost your master, and any reason for you may have had to protect this Lostbelt. And despite all that, you still want to fight us? You done? So now we know what your servant thinks, Barrow Draco. How about you? Got anything to say?
Only this. You're not going to back down, are you?
Hell no. This unfinished business isn't gonna finish itself. You punks brought down freaking Olympus. That's huge. I couldn't ask for more worthy opponents. But hey, I may not be your typical Greek heroic spirit, but it's still what I am. And if there's one thing we all know Greek heroes are about, it's revenge, ain't it?
It sounds almost farcical hearing that from you, Canis, given how much you despise Olympus. But I can't deny that your will to fight, your drive, and your spirit are more united than ever before. This must be your final destination, the one you failed to reach in your lifetime. It seems you finally arrived at your answer, Canis. Then, as such, we are obliged to respond accordingly, even if this battle is entirely unnecessary. Baron Draco, I'm aware your magical energy has also long reached its limits, but can you still do this?
You know it! Let's go, Canis! Ha! Well, look at you. A goddamn weakling of a master glaring at me like you actually know your shit. Fine then. Let's go. When we're done, all that's left of you and your servant will be dangling from my spear. One last thing. Remember my name. I am the one who made Poseidon pay for violating me, and took his place as a god in recompense. I'm the foolish king who lost himself to the vices of killing, violence, anger, and pride. But right now, all that I do for my contracted master. I am Canis, the divine spirit, and I'm the only servant who Kiristar Wooddine truly trusted.
Okay. Last fight. Well, a level 70 Sherlock Holmes? Oh, that is BS. Why would they give me a level 70 Sherlock Holmes? Was he 80 in the last fight? Absolute garbage.
神々を滅ぼした者よ。オリュンポスを制した者よ。その力、その決意、一時のものでないことをこの俺に示せるか。
世は寛大だ。ムクロだけは残す。
Okay, so low chance of removing enemies' defense buffs during attacks, and low chance of removing or lowering HP recovery amounts, and immune to immobilization, and other things. Okay, so I can't stun her anymore. Ooh, Ivan Chain. Gotta go for that. Hopefully I can clear out 2 bars before things go bad. Not like super hopeful, but you know, fingers crossed. Okay, so we got an art chain. That's good. Okay, so we got Holmes MP up. Basically. Seriously? 7%! Still not critting. Okay, maybe not my greatest idea. There's another Sherlock chain, but hopefully the defense pierce will help us with damage. Crit, please. Thank you. Okay. One more turn till NP time. Good. Good crit. Oh, we're halfway through the first bar. Okay. Holmes has to evade on one of his things, doesn't he? Yeah, okay. His arse thing has evade.
以前のようにはいきませんが、示談装填します。
Okay.
神明凍結展開。これは多くの後、多くの願いを受けた幻想の城。呼応せよ、モールだ。
Why is my crit luck so damn bad? Seriously.
俺は自由だ。海も大地も俺をつなぎ止めることはできる。ラピュタイカイネース。
Okay. Damn. One turn away. I should probably save that for like Arjuna or something. So right now, Kenneth has NP up and crit up. Is in fact how often NPCs seem to be trading against me. Anyways, pretty bad situation. Huh. I want to use Mash's taunt for the MP, but I don't know if she can take any more damage. Not really worth it for me to give her guts right now. Alright, Mash is up. Ooh, 0, nice. And crit, that sucks. Okay. Still alive, we're so good. Okay, Mash has the guts, so we're fine in that end. And all the additional defense should keep her alive? Unless Candace crits like twice. Which is a real possibility. Oh my god. Huh. Not really anything I can do. I think she gets like full charge after the break bar here, so I think the whole team's just dead. Oh no. Clears the... Okay. Hey, so 0. Cool. So everyone's dead. Okay. So, Mash's the guts will trigger, so I've got that. But then I think Candace is gonna murder her.
Yeah. Not enough defense balls for now. Okay, I think we have enough stars for Arjuna at least. Yeah, we do. $70, god damn it. Alright. This should do a fair amount of Kane's HP. After that, I'm not sure how it's gonna end up. I feel like I should pop the guts just in case. Because Kane is hanging like a brick house. Okay. Man, that does a lot. For an AoE, that's a shit ton. I didn't expect the break part to end already. Alright, now we got... Yeah, that guy's kind of important. So what, we got invincible for how long? 5 hits. Okay. Or at least take off the charge. Oh man, it sucks I can't, actually use my 100% crit right now. Okay, so we have... No, we have nothing. So there's still two hits, so we might as well go for Sky first, into Kin, into Arjuna, because he's the only one who's up buff right now. Please crit. Alright, guys. I need to save. Okay. Okay, I need to figure this out.
行きましょう。どうしがたいの。終わるがいい。これを賜す。
It's up 2 turns before. Okay, Sky's dead. Yeah, we lost Arjuna. That's the son of a gun. I don't have enough stars for next turn. Damn. Can't be then. So the best thing I can do right now is just set up for next turn. Really? The 20% one crits? Yikes.
遊びはほう天と地の狭間にて人はかくあるべしとここに新たなるノリを敷く
Alright, now we should Come on, crit, please.
ひれ伏すがよいぞ
高く高くもっと星々の海
Man,
俺は届くだろう
for crit-based servant,
帰れるぜ
I really miss my crits a lot.
薄いな 遊びは終わりか どうしがたいの
Man, that defense removal is real annoying. At the very least, when it happens with the NP, it still survives the NP, so...
すなわち陳である
But this is gonna cut close. Ooh, nice. Finally a
ひれ
crit.
伏すがよいぞ
我が肉体無敵なりつべせい
薄いな
Okay. This is dangerous.
そうきたか
Huh. Man, that defense buff removal is actually really messing with me.
どうしがたいの
We're dying anyways. I think when guts trigger... Oh,
ひれ伏すがよいぞ
okay. One more guts.
薄いな薄いな
Man, the fact that we're at 90, that's real annoying. Okay, it's 50, going to 50, and on a 40? Seems like the best bet.
これを頼む
Then we're dead here anyways.
ひれ伏すがよいぞ 薄いな
Oh my god! Just barely survived it! But I don't think we can finish her off this turn. Ah, man. Because they still have the guts. That's the thing.
あそこ
That's the guts, and they had the defense removal. So after the first hit, I'm just
こ
dead.
こに新たなるノリを敷くこれを賜わす
Oh my god, these crits. Come on. Ah, man. So close. We're gonna get dead. Why keep doing this when I actually have to go sleep? Okay, I'm not gonna end this like Atlantis. I'm actually gonna try to win this. I should be able to win this. But I think I'm gonna end that, do that tomorrow, because I don't have time right now. Man, 50k left. So annoying. Definitely there could have been something I could have done there. Oh well. Tomorrow's another day. Tomorrow we'll finish it. So, until then, thank you everyone who joined me today, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.